you're never here. I got pushed into trash cans. It was a lot. It was character building.
Do you remember names? First and last?
I remember all the names. And I will keep those to myself, and I do. They're like my list that
Oh, yeah?
Arya
You want to
has.
take care of it yourself? You can take care of it yourself.
Well, I'll
I
take
don't
care of
need
it
any
myself.
help. You can handle it yourself.
I've already taken care of some.
I've seen you break a pool cue and run 15 huge dudes out of a bar. No, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, everybody
Did
goes
that
through it
push
in a way.
you away, though? Did that push you further away from wanting to be involved with other kids your age? Because
Absolutely.
you were already feeling disconnected, and then when you do come over,
Yeah, I
they're
think,
like, you know, you're weird.
as you know, I am a hermit and extremely introverted.
Mm-hmm.
And people always think that's a weird thing for an actor, but actually, you know, most actors, I feel,
Tons.
are that way.
Tons.
But if I can trace it back, I think a lot of that probably comes from that time of, you know, feeling weird about being around people my age and have them not be so nice and wanting to, it's funny though. I also feel like that was the age that I learned self-deprecation, where I was like, oh, I know how to combat this. I can make fun of myself as well and make everybody laugh.
Right.
So I can join in on the laughs of like, yeah, haha, look how funny I look in this. Isn't it hilarious? You know, which that's not healthy either. But it can all be traced back.
But you also just, those things are what happen as a result of, you know, that's what we do.
So we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah. But I'm also weirdly thankful for those years. Like, I think that is so much of what happened makes me who I am today. You know, because I would just be so confident and conceited, I'm sure, if I didn't go through that.
Favorite acting gig before you were 18? Let's consider let's see, we've got Wings, we've got Roseanne, we've got What Women Want, we've got, what are some of the other hits?
From the time I was little up until like about 17, I feel like with acting, it was just something that I did, and it was a job.
It was your job, yeah.
But I feel like there was a certain point where I realized that I really, really liked it.
What was?
And I did this independent movie called Nearing Grace, and it's never seen the light of day. But I feel like it was such an incredible experience that it was a period piece. Took place in the 70s, and it was kind of like a high school movie. And I feel like maybe that's why I liked it so much. But the rehearsal process was so fun, and I played piano, I sang in the movie. The part was she was like super weird, and I just felt really connected with the character, and we shot it in Portland, and it was one of the first times that I went away to go do a movie myself, without parental guidance with me.
Yeah.
It was when I got Sully.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So I was actually I was a little bit older. I think I was 19. And so I think that's where it really clicked for me. And then I did a movie called Fast Food Nation. And
Richard Linklater.
Yes.
One of the greatest filmmakers out there, in my opinion.
So great. And that was also another amazing rehearsal process where I was with the director and the writer, Eric Schlosser, who's this incredible author, and he's written amazing books, Reefer Madness. He wrote Fast Food Nation, and also wrote the script. And we had intense rehearsals for that.
Tell me about it.
That was all of the scenes that we had in were on the page. We started the rehearsals.
Before we return to Midgard, I should warn
so
you.
it's kind of the four of us.
The snowfall that began when you slew Baldur has become something else. The stuff of omens.
Omens for the coming of winter.
Not just any winter, but a great winter to span 3 summers. And when it's done, Ragnarok begins.
Ragnarok.
No, brother. Prophecy doesn't expect this for 100 more winters at least. You've changed something. Prophecy didn't count on you.
A couple weeks just sitting in a room for a whole day.
Yeah.
Just talking about our characters and Richard being like,
This is the big
Stop saying that. Oh, you're making me very nervous. It was bound to snow sooner or later.
That ain't the snow when you know it. It's the end times.
How dare you make me the voice of reason? Guys, just discussing the weather. Bit of a cold snap lately.
What he means is, Thimble winter's upon us, boys. The winter to end all winters. I can feel it in my screw.
Yeah, we heard.
So if you're heading home, try to keep moving. And also, to not die.
Or if you're not heading home, same advice.
Huh. Interesting.
let's throw out these scenes. Improv it. Just, what are your hopes and dreams, Ashley? What do you want to be when you grow up? Let's put that in the script. From there, it was the first time where I was able to collaborate on something other than just sort of bringing a character to the table, where it was so cool.
Right, that's what you want in
Yeah.
every project.
Acting is so great, but most of the time you're given something to do and make everything that you can out of it, but not everything is going to be a dream job, of course, but it's okay. You still make it something fun.
Yeah.
That was really the first time where I was also like, oh, I can do more than just acting. I can have a say, and I can be like, hey, what about this? What about this? And that was also a really cool adjustment.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I can do more than just what you need me to do.
You can decide so much about what it's up to.
Yeah.
Versus just one way, but you want to be a part of it.
Yeah. So I think those two movies in particular really stand out for me. Not even necessarily because of what came out on the screen, but because of the experiences that they were. The help was super fun.
Yeah.
And that was just a debaucherous time. I ate so much.
Yeah, you're in the South.
Party time.
You gotta eat that food.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your dad because he was a wonderful man.
Yes, he was.
And an old childhood friend of yours was here yesterday, and he was telling me awesome stories that I didn't know. And every couple of months, an old family, somebody comes around with new stories, and it's cool. Or your mom will find an old videotape, or your stepdad will find an old videotape and send us stuff. Tell us what he did for a living. So he traveled a lot because
some kind of terrible
did.
secret.
What?
All he wanted hidden.
It's
But
okay.
who knows, really? Dwarves are strange. And yes,
It's
I
'cause I'm
realize
during my
I'm a
period, so
dwarf.
So he traveled a lot because he was
did.
He was what?
God, I already get emotional.
It's okay.
It's because I'm during my period soon, guys.
Totally why.
um,
So your dad was a ship captain
yes.
and of an exploratory vessel.
Yes.
What kind of
My
stuff
dad,
would he do?
he traveled all over the world and everywhere. Like he went everywhere. So it's been cool. Like my sister and I and my brother, we kind of have this goal to. I mean, it would be so hard to travel to all of the places that he's been, but we have a goal to always travel to some of them. At least some that were his favorites. But he would go for work. He would go away and be gone for some time. He was sort of gone for a month, then home for a month.
And when he was home, he was home.
When he was home, he was home.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, like, I feel the time that we got with him. He passed away when I was almost 17.
So
It
kind
was
of
like
right.
a week from my 17th birthday. And still, at 35, it affects me.
Of course.
Of course. You know, I feel like he's such an incredible dad. That hole is still obviously there, and I'm so thankful for the time that I got him.
Yeah.
And you know, I talked about this with Travis because he passed away of cancer, and it's a terrible disease, and you know, but you do sort of get time with someone to talk with them when you know it's not a sudden thing. You know, my dad was diagnosed, and it was about a 6-month process before he ended up passing away, and we had so many conversations just about life and what his plans are for us and his hopes and dreams for us, and he's a good guy. I feel like a lot of people ask me if they have someone or they know someone that has lost someone, and they're like, what do you say? And the most important thing, I think, is to just listen. And I think you have to tell stories about someone, or else they're not. That's what keeps them alive.
That's how we, yeah.
And I love talking about my dad. I've told you so many stories, and I wish I could have met him more than anything.
Which one I want your story I want you to tell today?
Oh, God, there's so many.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, my mom, you know, my mom met him when she was, yeah, they got married when, you know, she was very young. They had a very long marriage, but they were a great example of a marriage to his kids. So funny, and so smart, vibrant. Yeah, it's very good. But it's yeah.
Your parents were kind of practical jokers too, and pranks on each other in a way that my parents imagine. Like there was a prank your mom tried to do where you guys were playing a prank on your mom where one of the kids got kidnapped.
Oh my God!
Cops
Yeah.
got called. It's like shit was.
The two of them just loved playing jokes on each other, and they would do stuff that was so crazy. A lot of my dad, he had a very, very colorful youth. He, you know, partook in all of the things. And so, you know, a lot of funny stories about that.
Yeah.
Days of, you know, we had an open house talking about stuff like, who's the asshole like dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things, my dad, my brother, and I were there. My mom and my sister had gone to the school, and a family friend of ours dropped in, and she was like, hey, I just wanted to see you guys, because that's how our house was. I wanted you guys to meet, you know, my new boyfriend, his roommate. So they were just hanging out at the house. She gets home, and so they were planning it, and my dad's like, I got a good idea. Let's tie up Christopher, which is my brother, my dad's son. Let's tie him up in a chair. Let's duct tape his mouth, tie him up with rope, and put him in the laundry room so that when she walks in to the garage, she's gonna think that the house is It's terrible. This is the house that I grew up in. So we tied up my brother, duct taped him, like everything.
Was he down for it? I don't remember. Was he?
Oh, of course he was down for it. So her boyfriend, Lois's boyfriend, her family friend, since my mom had never met him, we were like, let's get him in on it. So my dad was like, let's have you holding the TV, you know, down the hall so she sees you, and you guys are like trying to take stuff from the house. So my mom pulls in, we're like, okay, just here. She walks in, opens the door, and sees my brother, like, screaming. And then she sees Lois's boyfriend, like, down the hall, like how our house boss was holding the TV, and he goes, "Oh shit, she's home!" And you know, he starts screaming, like acting like he's Christmas Eve. My mom's screaming. She tells my sister to run and go to the neighbors and call the cops. So my sister goes to the neighbors, gets them to call the cops. The cops show up, and then my dad comes out and goes, "No, stop! This is just a joke. It's okay. It's fine." So
I love the idea of, though, explaining to the cops, I tied up my
no, it was a joke. We just tied up my
15-year-old
son.
son. This guy who I just met is pretending to rob my house.
It's fine.
So that when my wife gets home,
Yeah.
she shits her pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
it was stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
That's the tamest one that I can tell.
That's the that is. Do you remember what was the first voiceover thing you did?
First voiceover that I did was the cartoon version of Jumanji.
That's right.
Yes, and I played the little boy. It was very good.
Yeah.
And then after that, I did
Yeah, you did. What?
Time.
What?
She was just like a nerd, and she took her study very seriously. So I spent time before
Just an attitude.
just an attitude. I think it's going to like the whole goth. I feel like I got there. I feel like in like 16, 17, especially after my dad passed away. I was like, no, everybody, I'm just off because I have deep sadness and darkness in my heart. So I was like, I'll do whatever.
I make this.
I make the darkness. I am the darkness. And I think, at the time, before the world showed its true colors, I was like, this is fun.
How much different was that? Was it harder? You were also younger.
No, it wasn't harder. It was. I feel like when any actor starts doing voiceover, oh, this is a dream.
Choke in your pajamas.
Yeah, and it was super fun. I mean, especially on Recess. That was one of the cartoon shows at the time that they chose to use real kids.
Instead of having adults.
Instead of having adults do the voices. Yeah. Except for Spinelli, who was played by Pamela Adlon, who I love so very much.
Yes.
But all the rest of us, we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was so fun.
Let's talk about The Last of Us Part 1, because that leads us to me, which is where we all want to be.
Yes. Let's
talk about the two sides of it.
Okay.
At the time that The Last of Us Part 1 was accepted, I was living in North working with him and doing stuff. You, I had never met, had no idea about, other than seeing you and stuff. And then Troy tells Travis and I that he got an audition for a Naughty Dog game. And I'm like, oh shit, because I just played through Uncharted 1 and 2. And I was like, these people make some amazing games. I came to video games late in the world.
Okay,
same.
Yeah.
And I remember going over, reading your lines with him, and going over all that stuff. I remember the True Religion jeans that he wore to the audition, that Travis and I were like, you're gonna wear that to your first Naughty Dog thing, like. And then I remember him coming home that day, talking about how much you. So you had been cast in the game already.
Yes.
But they were auditioning Joels, and you auditioned with 100 Joels or something, right? Like 50.
It was probably like 30 to.
And then when Troy came in, you were talking about this. You were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a process.
Okay, brother.
That came in that were super great, but didn't have that wasn't he had.
Yeah.
It was interesting because he was was younger than when I came in. But the guy who came in I feel like I'm at the point in my life as an actor, it's best to just go for it and go on impulse and you just see what happens in the scene. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you just go with it. This guy had like a little bit of a chip on his shoulder when he came in. Just automatically didn't make him, so that's my fault. In a way. So I think I was just feisty, so in the scene when we were doing the scene, I can't remember which scene of the game that it is, but we were doing the scene and I'm like upset with him. And I guess I just didn't like him. I just shoved him. And we was just like, we were kind of yelling at each other and I shoved him and he shoved me back. And I go back after him.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're done with the fucking scene. I'm gonna kill you. And then they were like, okay, stop. Neil and everybody were like, okay, let's start this over. It just didn't, it wasn't going.
Yeah, not hard to say you guys didn't click.
No. So,
Was that the same day as Troy?
that was the audition before.
So that was,
Troy.
yeah, so you guys were doing
So that guy left and Troy walked in. And so I was just still like fucking ready to go. And he came in and he like walked over, he was like, hi, I'm Troy Baker. He came over to me and was like, let me give you a hug. It wasn't like a weird thing.
No,
it was
yeah.
okay, like I think you could just tell I was
Pick
just
up
a
on the
man.
fact you were like,
And I was like, yeah, it's okay. I just like completely diffused the situation. It was very paternal and you know, it was really cool. It was a really cool moment and we did the scene and it was great.
Yeah.
And I think visually when you saw, you know, especially Troy at the time and you know, his fancy
Need a fresh upgrade before tackling the realm tears? Not that I condone such an action, mind you.
He had all of it there, like everything, his voice that he was doing, and just
he's able to put everything into his voice.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's crazy, and he was so prepared, and he was off the page, and we just connected, and it was like, no, this is it.
Yeah.
But that's the amazing thing with mocap is it's you can play anything. I mean, I was playing a 14-year-old girl, and I started the game when I was.
It was almost 9 years ago when you started that game, so you were about 27.
Yeah. So, you know, and I was playing a 14-year-old girl, so it
But there's-
doesn't matter what
Right.
you look like
Because it's a video game.
because it's a video game.
There's so much Ellie in you, and there's so much
Yeah.
of you and Ellie, which is why I think you immediately clicked with that character. I think
Definitely.
it's why Neil and Bruce and everybody at Naughty Dog was like, this is Ellie.
Yeah. I think over the years, and especially with, you know, because even working on the second game, like we've been working on it for 4 years now. You know, even the same with the first game, like it's the line between me and Ellie is very blurred, and I like it that way.
Yeah, it's more fun for you to play characters that you have a little bit of
Yeah, I think with Ellie specifically, and I think because I've played the character for so long, it's the character that I've felt closest to. Like I feel, you know, I feel like we're one and the same. Like when I step into those shoes, I don't feel like I'm playing a character. It's really weird. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I'm so amazing and so like method or whatever. I don't mean anything like that. I think it's because it's been so long and
it's an easy transition.
it's an easy transition because at this point I'm like, oh, this is just it's me if I took another path in my life. And or have gone through different experiences.
So you had gone to high school.
So if I go to high school. I think there are parts of me that are very, I have a lot of anger in me, but, you know, I'm working through these things, but I think it's a part
We
of
all
me
are,
that in
darling.
I think with Ellie, it's able to sort of use that in a weird way.
Ellie gets to live in the angry place. You don't get to flesh out your anger in that way because then I'd be dead and the house would be destroyed and you know what I mean? So it's for you get to
Yeah.
get into that world.
It's great. I mean, I feel like with the first game, that was the first video game that I've ever done. So I didn't, and first, motion capture as well, where that alone, there's so much freedom in that. Like going from movies or TV where it takes so long to do one scene, and with mocap it's so much like theater, where it's you get the scene in that moment. You don't have to wait to turn the cameras around, and it's moves so much faster, and it's so freeing because at first it's a challenge because you don't have the way your character looks.
No costume.
No costume,
no
and
makeup, no set props.
Yeah, so sometimes I think as an actor it can get dangerous with that because you can just lean on that. But I feel like with mocap, it's like you have to take all of that away and just
Very well. To
go
business.
for it in a set that's not there. Everything is being believed with what you're drinking, and it's...
You also don't have your eyes.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing for an actor. And something I've really learned from you is watching you do you just have your body and your voice.
Yeah.
They animate your face, they capture it, everyone can't, they're able to dots and stuff. But in video games they don't use, they can't, put a thing on your eye and exactly do that thing.
Yeah.
They do an amazing job with it, especially the Naughty Dog team. But it's hard, it's gotta be so hard. I talk to all you guys about it all the time, because it's so fascinating, so weird. So, it would be hard for me to do this show without this set and environment, and if you put me in like a suit that makes me look all weird with a bunch of balls all over it.
Yeah, it's weird, but I think it's a good challenge as an actor to sort of keep stripping stuff away, because you learn that the external parts of your character are not things that you should lean on anyway. But I think with this game in particular, and this experience, I feel like as an artist in any form, painter, musician, whatever, you never know how capable you can be. Like, you always hope that there's more. Like, you do something and you're like, you don't really know, but... And I feel like with this game, the first game, we did so much stuff where it became a new measurement, where I was like, oh, I didn't know I could get there and actually do that. Yeah, and I was like, this is crazy stuff. But I think it was because everything was stripped away and I had to sort of find it without all that.
Yeah.
And that game changed the game. And so
Yeah, I remember the story. Telling you stories about it. That's why we would always say, like, an ass kick today by Ashley in the scene. I'm like, oh yeah, what happened? He's telling me, like, I watched him grow as an actor from working with you, which was so funny too, because for him that's his stage, he's the mocap video game guy. You were coming in from TV and film, and you did voiceover, so you understood that, but this was a whole other thing, and it was cool to see him grow so much. You obviously grew a ton, but I didn't know you then. But it was interesting. It was cool to see what he would take away from those days with you and go like, man, I'm now thinking about this on such a deeper level because of what she brought to the table. It's like, well, she sounds fucking awesome. That's fucking neat. That's cool.
Well, I learned so much from him because he was so experienced with video games. But also, there's as an actor, it is hard. It's hard to connect your emotions to things. And I feel like he taught me that, of how to sort of let that come out and be stronger, or whatever it needs to be, because you can't rely on your eyes. So you have to have it come out in your voice, which you learn something.
Alexa, ask Whirlpool to preheat the oven to 350.
That's why I here's my voice control. Whirlpool.
And I sent it to him, and I was like, I got that book from that guy you were talking about.
Oh, I know, because he showed me. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, because
no.
I
Why'd
read.
you tell her about that book?
Yeah. I read a lot. So I think I was just like, any recommendations? I'll read that. That sounds great. So I got to work and we talked about it. But that was nothing.
Well, I was in a relationship at the time, so it wasn't really.
As was that.
Yeah, we're, like, no one was thinking.
It wasn't any.
No one was thinking that. But only because he was doing all some stories about you, watching, clips and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit. I was also learning about how video games are being made at that point, too, so all of it was fascinating. But that's an excuse. I wanted to see the news of you. And then eventually, so my side of it actually. I tweeted at the wrong Ashley, the other Ashley,
Ashley
Scott.
Yes.
Maria, and last was brother. I back then accidentally tweeted at her and said, like, I heard you bought my book, thank you so much, if you ever want to just, like, let me know what you think, let me know. And then Troy was like, it's wrong, Ashley, you idiot. And I was like, oh shit. But then I never tweeted you, because then I was just too ashamed. And then I was like, why am I tweeting this? Just like, put it out there. Then fast forward to Troy's wedding.
Yep.
I saw you at the rehearsal dinner, and I was like, oh, fuck. That's her. And I was single. And I was
Ready
like,
to mingle?
Yeah.
But you did not mingle with me.
Here's the problem. I asked 250 people, there was about 200 people there. I asked 250 people here, and all of them said, no, you just go walk up and talk to her. I'm like, the other problem we had was nobody there. You didn't know Travis and Laura at that time. You didn't know Mary. You didn't know any of them.
Weird to think about.
You didn't know any of them. So the rehearsal dinner goes by. I can't bring myself to go talk to you. It was too. You had this. I couldn't. I was weak and scared. The next day was the wedding. Troy and his lovely wife Pam graciously asked me to read a poem from that book.
Yes.
At a wedding.
Exactly what poem it is.
I saw you before. I couldn't say anything. Mary's like, dude, you gotta go talk to her. Yeah, she'll come to me. No, I didn't think that. And then after this, I was like, oh, Brian, I think you read my book. It's the douchiest. It's the douchiest opening line. I didn't know what else. I was just trying to put a point of connection. I wasn't being arrogant.
No.
So I told you.
Yes.
But I came up and I was
Yes, I remember.
very.
Yes.
And you were so sweet. You were so, like, I'm supposed to be talking to anybody. Not we're in the process of food. Beer. Hair at the time. I was about 20 pounds. Lighter than now.
Yeah, you were.
Maybe more. All of this was like, I haven't eaten in weeks. Meals are for weak people. Meals are for people. And then,
That very quickly.
yes, you did. Thank God. But I remember talking to you, and I remember we were going back and forth, and then for some reason you just walked away.
I did?
Just fucking walked away. It wasn't like you walked away in the middle of me saying something. It wasn't like there was a lull where we were out of shit to say. I just remember you
I'm so awkward.
you got so awkward and you just like left.
I was like, that was weird. I'm leaving.
I went back
Oh,
to the
shoot.
I went back to the table of all the people that had made me go talk to you, who were
Oh,
all
no.
sitting there watching from 20 yards away at how everything went down. I went back, and of course all my friends said, what did you say? She just walked away from you. I'm like, I don't know. I said a lot of stuff. I was really nervous. She's gorgeous in person. Like, Jesus Christ. You try going up and talking to her, but I'm not talking to her.
Oh my god.
And then,
I don't know why I walked away.
but then you hung out, and then I was like, should I go back up? I mean, the first time didn't go good. Should I go back up and say something?
Well, we were also sitting across from each other.
Oh, at the dinner we ended up sitting
across from each other.
Yes.
Which I think helped me
That
sort
helps.
of.
Freedom.
Yes. You are free now.
My sisters, have they suffered the same fate?
Yes. But we'll save them.
You are both very brave. I wish you luck. Valhalla awaits.
Both? She didn't even notice me.
They want to save. Why do they put up such a fight?
They are fierce opponents. It is good for you.
You know, most parents just want their children to get a full night's sleep.
We have enough mist that goes to open one of those tears. Should we do it?
impressive, lads.
I'm kind of surprised we made it out of that one.
I'm not. Perfect positive.